Breaking news regarding one of my personal all-time favorite bands, the Aldious band, or all-female power metal band, Aldious. And that is, they officially have decided on the new vocalist. For those of you who aren't as in the loop of Aldious, their last vocalist, Reno, left due to a condition with her ear, which I won't get into too much detail about because that's not what this video is about. But I'm really hoping that she's having a really good recovery. From what I've heard is that she's doing some work with kids. I think it's like social work or something. But anyways, what they did was they did a tour for this year called Evoke, where they would have some dates played by a vocalist named Rin, and then the other dates were by the Cynthia singer Saki. And now Rin has been announced as the vocalist going forward for Aldious, which is really awesome. A lot of people really do like her, and she's really good. She's also a very good music writer as well. It also means that we can get a Cynthia reunion possible, since the whole situation going on with that group is now plausible for them to get together, and Saki is going to have an announcement soon, which, if I had to bet my money on it, it's either going to be a solo album or a Cynthia reunion, one of the two. Anyways, that has nothing to do with this sort of info. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and just say that all the band members on Twitter are just very excited about it. None of them have posted a blog post yet, so I can't do it like I did the like I did the other videos with the announcement of Toki's pregnancy, and going into, and actually she appears, and Toki actually surprisingly appears in the group photo for the announcement of this. So maybe this is something that they decided a while back before she went on maternity leave, which wouldn't surprise me. Now, as for the status of Toki herself, I do think that she still may come back after the birth of her child. Though if she does decide to retire, I won't hold it against her. I don't think we should anyway. And I'll wish her the best in motherhood and wifehood. And they have a really strong guitarist that's sort of stepping in for her in Norami, in which one of my subscribers in a comment named Heelin Toe actually commented last night, saying that he's apparently a huge Norami fan, as he said it would boost the band's brutality, which, yeah, Aldious has had some pretty brutal songs. Don't let the appearance fool you. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read first up the article from JPEU Records. For those of you that don't know, JPEU Records is the European distribution for a lot of Japanese artists, such as, Aldious, Bandmade, and The Gazette, which are all three of some of my favorite bands. But here's what JPEU Records says about the announcement. Japanese metal band Aldious has welcomed Rin as official new member. The vocalist has previously been touring with Aldious after the departure of Reno last year, but today been made an official member of the groups. Rin's comments were, "I was introduced to Aldious in January of this year and took part of their fan club only show in March, followed by touring in April. I was thrust in the world of Aldious at tremendous speed. As a vocalist of Aldious, there are so many things I want to accomplish. I would like to sing as much as possible so that Aldious music could reach many places and people. Thank you." So it seems like it's just something that, sort of, maybe it was like a chain of events that sort of led to this, which can happen sometimes when new members join a band, or so I'm just trying to think of how to phrase this. Sort of like I guess sort of like a domino effect, like how there's just like all these things that just line up for say, for example, with Head rejoining Korn, how all those things lined up just for him to rejoin. I'm thinking maybe right here it's the same case where gradually everything just started, lining up over time, and it was just like, sort of like, okay, I need to be the vocalist for this band, sort of thing. It also goes on to say that Rin, also known as Gammy, has previously released several songs as a solo artist and vocalist that have been connected to video games and anime, including Attack on Titan and Mobile Suit Gundam. So yeah, she is kind of not only is she one that pretty much a lot of fans were hoping would be the new singer of Aldious, but she's also had some major credit to her name, because both Attack on Titan and Mobile Suit Gundam are all AAA anime titles that pretty much every single anime fan has heard of, at least. So there's a good chance that a lot of people are already familiar with her music. And it is possible that we could, and this also makes it possible that we could get Aldious to do an anime opening at some point. Though that's not like super important, just a little more info there. And then when she said, I want to sing as much as possible so that Aldious can reach many places and people, there's a couple ways to take that statement. That she wants the band to sort of be more open to the West out here, because Aldious recently has done some stuff for the West. They did release Radiant A and everything after in Europe, and they also Reno and Marina did a really long podcast in 2017, English podcast in 2017. And it also could mean that the statement here could also mean that Rin wants to write stuff that's more that's a lot more personal, and will really strike a chord with people's hearts, which is really good. All right, I'm gonna read from Rin's blog. Important notice. This time, I have officially joined Aldious as vocalist. I met through an introduction of January this year, participated in Fan Club Limited Live in March, and toured in April, and entered Aldious world with a tremendous speed. I didn't come to the band, and I felt like I was getting used to it as a member of the day. I thought that was really irreplaceable in my own life, so I wanted to join you. Aldious vocals will start a new start in 2019, in the 7th and 8th years of the singer-songwriter and vocalist Gammy. I want to work harder to meet reliable offices and staff, and start a new environment where I can concentrate on music. And the activity of as a singer and songwriter, and the activity as a vocalist Gammy will continue. I've not yet decided when to return, but I'd like to report again. Thank you for continued support. So yeah, it seems like she is still going to have her solo career, but it's just going to be sort of on hiatus or on hold, which is understandable, because when you join a band, that kind of takes priority over your solo stuff. So I do expect those releases to be more sparingly. I don't know how consistently she was releasing stuff. But if it was like, say, every other year she would release an album, I would say it would be like 2 to 3 years. And if it was like every 2 years, I'd say it would be 4 to 5 years before a new solo album. But yeah, Rin is obviously very excited and is looking forward to working hard for Aldious. And as far as what their first release is going to be, they may release a new single sometime in the upcoming months, probably very late 2019 at the earliest, but I would say it's more likely going to be first quarter of 2020. As to what to expect, you can expect them to do a lot of Rin versions of all their Aldious songs. On the first single or EP or whatever they release, there's going to be one new song, and there's probably going to be 2 to 3 Rin versions of songs. And as for the songs they'll probably do, they're probably going to do, from my guess, if I had to predict, they're probably going to do one Remy song, which is either going to be Mermaid or Spirit Back. And then they're going to do 2 Reno songs. As for the Reno songs, that's really up in the air because unlike the Remy era, which was more, I'd say, undergroundish, the Reno era had so many huge hits. You know, you have the ballads, Fragile, and I Don't Like Me, and then you got like all the really other songs such as Dominator, Sweet Temptation, Refire, The End, Utopia, Lose Control, We Are, Monster, etc. So with the Reno songs, it could really be up there. So I'm guessing one Reno song would be either Fragile or I Don't Like Me, and then the other one will probably be one of those many songs. So yeah, but I imagine that's not the only release you're going to get with, you know, with Ren versions of all their Aldious songs. So I imagine they're going to keep on doing that constantly for a few singles that they do leading up to whatever album they do next. And whatever album they do next, I'd imagine, since Ren has already talked about how hard she wants to work, I would say you can expect a new album, for my prediction, sometime either late into next year or, depending on the situation with Toki, early 2021. Just going off of how really consistent they are with releasing music, and how they seem to follow, whenever it comes to a new album, they seem to follow a almost yearly pattern. The only time there was an album released yearly was the gap between Radiant A and Unlimited Diffusion. But with Unlimited Diffusion, you kind of got a double album out of it because We Are came out like 2 months after. And I know that that's kind of classified as a mini album or whatever, but it has but the length of that album of We Are was longer than a lot of albums out there, so I'm going to count it as a regular studio album, just based off the length. And those are sort of the thoughts and everything. As far as the reaction of the fan base, it's overwhelmingly positive. Everyone really wants to see Rin. However, there is going to be this sort of more of a divide, because there was already a divide when Reno joined the band and how everyone's just like, this sucks, man. I wish it would be back like the Remy days. And sort of that's going to happen again. It's inevitable. It happens whenever you change vocalists for whatever reason. It sucks, but it's like, and you know, I've seen some comments about it. Like I saw one comment from a person who like who pretty much compared Aldious to like an idol group for some reason. Just said that, you know, they're about pretty much and I'm not kidding you. His exact words were, Aldious is less like musicians and more like a pro soccer team. What? And I, of course, calmly explained to him that lineup changes are not something exclusive to Japanese music, which is what he commented, basically saying that those lineup changes were exclusive to Japanese music. Things happen. So yeah, there's going to be some people who are going to definitely comment about how much they miss Reno and how they wish she was still in the band, and how, you know, because the thing is, I'm expecting Rin to sort of be her own thing. Like, she's not going to be she's not going to be like Reno, and she's not going to be like Remy. She's going to be Rin, which is something I want to see. I don't want to see, I'm pretty sure everyone would notice if they were to bring in someone who's just going to be another Reno. So I think this was really awesome of them to bring in a new vocalist that can sort of bring a new take and new life to the band. Now for all the people who are more on the Remy side are like, yes, no more pop pop punk songs. Toki was, I think, was also a contributor for those songs as well, not just Reno. So if Toki is still in the band, which I still have high confidence that she probably will still be in the band, then you can expect some of the songs if that's something that Ren wants to do. But yeah, really exciting news. I'm looking forward to whatever new material they do as a band. And I want to hear how you guys feel about Rin, and are you guys as excited as I am for whatever the future holds for Aldious in 2020 and the end of 2019. And it's just a really exciting time. We sort of get a new sort of, I guess you can say, direction for Aldious now. Because when Reno left, there's a lot of questions, and then when Toki had the pregnancy, I was pretty sure, I was actually thinking that one of the possible things that would happen was at the end, to sort of, out of respect, they may end up going on a hiatus at the end of the tour, but then they got the guest guitarist, and sort of now everything just looks like it's going to be a really bright future for Aldious, as everything was looking up as a bright future with Reno, how they're just gradually gaining more and more success and popularity, and I'm guessing that's going to continue now, and I'm super excited to see it, because Aldious is honestly not only one of the best Japanese bands, but they're one of the best bands currently out there, and they definitely deserve more recognition and more attention. I would love to see them, like, perform at major festivals in the West, or even if it's like on the small stages like Love Bites is doing, or for them that have played some USA tour dates. That would be really freaking awesome. I would love to see that. Now, tell me how you feel about Rin. Are you excited for the new vocalist? What do you think of her solo stuff? Are you a fan of it? And what do you want to see as the Rin versions of older Aldious songs? Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, we are Aldious! We are Aldious! Sorry, I had to. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.